Okay, hello everyone. Can you all see me? Can you all hear me? Also apologies that I'm looking a little rough today. I am coming to y'all live in my jammies with no makeup on. It's just been that kind of day. So, I was able to fit in a shower right before the stream, but I was like, you know what? I just don't have the energy for makeup today, and all my buddies will be okay with it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna flip through and say hi to everyone. Hello, Ian. Happy to have you here. Who are you? What's this video all about? Writing? Where's the person? Is this live? Oh my gosh, you're such a hoot. I see that y'all have picked up on the XP thing. Just so you know, I think you all know this, but I did not put that in there. That's something YouTube has started doing, and I think they're doing it to try to compete with Twitch, because Twitch has a similar kind of setup, but it is cool. So, damned typo ruining my insanity. Beth, I'm just trying to get XP. It's a game now. True. All makes sense. Let's see. Thank you, Beth. I think you're talking about me saying hi earlier. I'm not sure. Let's see. Hello, Irene. Happy to see you. Happy to have you here. Hi, Ian. Irene says, I'm set to write. I've been working on the outline for Departure of Blood, managed to merge the idea of some chapters together pretty well. Nice. Very nice to hear, Irene. Feels like, yeah, you're set up for success during the stream. You'll be able to really get a lot done, it sounds like. Nice. Okay. I was kind of saying that more as a joke, but I do appreciate that you guys are giving me confirmation that you could see and hear me. Sometimes we have those days. Yeah. I've had such a busy week, and I was like, I am not missing this stream because I canceled my Tuesday one, which I never do, but my brother was in town visiting. So I was just like, I am not missing this stream, but I just really don't have it in me to do makeup today. We don't judge here. Thank you. Hi, Rye. Happy to see you. Very happy to have you here. All right. Now, full transparency. I have not written since, God, when was it? Friday? Last Friday? So almost a week. So I am eager to jump into some sprints. So you all just let me know when you're ready to spin that wheel, and we'll make it happen. And we'll jump right in. I also have to help my brother on this next sprint. He's trying to use one of my logins for streaming, and told him I would help him during the next sprint. So we'll see. Hi, Christina. Happy to see you. Hoping to squeeze in some writing. Life has been lifing. Girl, I feel you. I was just saying that earlier. LOL, might not be able to stay, but I'm hoping to. No worries, Christina. I always say to everyone, I'm happy to have you here for however long you can stay. Never feel any kind of pressure. But yeah, if you're ready to spin that wheel, just let me know, and we'll get going. Hi, Belle. Good to see you. Maybe I should wait a second and see. Give people a second to come in. Let's see. Hi, Paul. How are you? I've seen you around the Discord, Paul. Doing lots of cool stuff. Let's see. Happy to have you here. Ian says, I've been beta reading for 11 days and I'm still not done. Hope to finish tonight. Spit it. Okay. And Rye says, born ready. I love this response. I love this energy. Christina, liking the chapter mood board. What's the donuts about? You know, it's so funny because, okay, full transparency about the boards. Usually I have a ton of stuff to include on my board, but every once in a while I get a chapter like this one where I think I left some room to add stuff to this chapter. My chapters are supposed to be between 3,000 and 4,000 words long. That's what I'm rooting for, right? That's what I'm trying to achieve. And I'm hoping this chapter will be closer to 3,000. But as far as pictures that I can show that don't give too much away, sometimes I run out of ideas. So donuts and bananas and stuff, they do actually play an important role. They actually do both play kind of a pivotal role in this chapter. But I had to make them extra big just to like really flesh out the rest of the mood board. But you will see how they come into play in the book. Like I said, I really am tempted when this is all done, like way off in the future when my book is finally published, hopefully, fingers crossed. I would love to repost all these mood boards in like one Instagram post or something where you could like flip through and look at them as you read, because I feel like so much of them would make sense as you read through. Hi, Annie. Happy to have you here. Hi, Brooke, or Belle. Sorry. I'm good. I'm very tired. I'm not going to lie. This week has like taken a lot out of me, but not really in a bad way. Nothing bad has happened. I'm just very stressed and busy. I have 2 exams this weekend, and I had my brother visit, and I had a concert this week that I went to, and it just, yeah, it's just been a busy week. And then I was like putting stuff together to post that new board game too that I put together for streams. So I wanted to like double check that and kind of, you know, just flesh it out before I officially put it out there, and everything. And I had to test it on OBS to like make sure it would work. So I've already started the OBS setup for that. And I made this week too, I also made the setup for Wheel of Doom, which I haven't shared that anywhere that that's done, but it is done and it is pretty great, I think. Definitely very spooky and fun. So yeah, just a busy week, but nothing bad, just a lot. Hi, McKenna. Happy to have you here. How have you all been doing this week, by the way? Like, I would love to know. I would love to check in. Paul says, yeah, I'm trying to do what I can. Hope to write some more of chapter 2. Nice. Very cool. Let's see. Maybe you can get like a quarter of the way through on this stream. That'd be nice. That's a good amount of progress. Let's see. Brooke says, Ian, I'm hoping to finish tomorrow. Oh, okay. I'm trying to see what that's in reference to. Beta reading? Is that in reference to beta reading? Also, if you hear my dog crying in the background, he is not in any sort of distress, okay? I have him in my bedroom with like a little baby gate because last stream he knocked my mic cord out. If you all saw Happy Hour, he like knocked my mic cord out. So at least just for the beginning of the sprint while I'm talking, I want to keep him put away for a minute, you know, and then I'll bring him back out. I will bring him back out. He has his whole bed here with like his own fan, by the way, that runs under my desk facing him. I'm sitting crisscrossed right now so that he can have this fan when he comes out. But I need to give him a minute because there's also one of my neighbors has this dog. Oh my God, guys, I got to tell you about this dog. Has this dog, and it's this little, it looks like the end of a cotton swab. It's just a big white fluff ball, and that thing barks all the way down the hall, and then all the way down the stairs, all the way outside, all the way around the courtyard, and all the way back in and upstairs, and it drives Mike nuts. And I heard that dog walking or coming out right as the stream was about to start, so that's another reason why he's back there for now. I think on our first sprint I'll try and pull him out, but anyways, I just need him to, I need that distraction to go away first. Beth says, I'm ready as I'll ever be. I do get to actually write tonight since I'm planning to do my writing prompt short story. Ooh, nice. I like that. I mean, you don't actually have to answer. Oh, yeah. It's, you know what? I can share the donuts briefly because they're really not too huge of a role. It's more like they initiate something, but basically a character gets sick because they ate too many donuts. It's nothing. It's not what you think, but yeah, a character gets sick from eating too many donuts, but then it kind of, that starts a domino effect that becomes a big thing. So, Paul says, I tend to cap out at 2,500 per chapter. Yeah, 3,000 to 4,000 is definitely long. My story, I'm calling it an epic romantic fantasy. There's like a lot of world building in mine, and that's why the chapters are longer, and that's why the book itself will probably be longer. Like my outline is skewed towards the book being 100,000 words, but with the expectation that some of my chapters will run long, and I'll probably end up closer to like 120 overall. And I feel like that's fairly normal for like high fantasy. So it definitely depends on what genre you're in, I think, from what I've heard. And the piggybacking going on, this has to be, it is, there are some really cute moments within this story, but there's also some really rough moments. I feel like it has a little bit of everything. And I also try to include quite a bit of humor. Yeah, I have a lot of focus on the relationship between my characters. As everyone does. I'm sure everyone thinks that their characters have a great, bond, but I really try to make each character unique and then make all of their dynamics with one another really clear. So same. This week was tiring. Yeah. I feel like there's something in the air this week. You know what doesn't help too? I mean, it depends on where you're living, right? But where I live, it has literally been feeling like a swamp lately. I mean, I was sitting here the other day and I was like, maybe I should make like a Shrek themed stream because it's that's how I feel right now. It's like I'm living in a swamp. And that doesn't help. Like, I've never done well with heat. I'm a fall winter gal, so that definitely doesn't help my energy, but it'll get better. It'll get better, Rye. You got this. Belle says, I socialized today and I zonked out for 3 hours after, so not much writing today and not much to vlog. Girl, I have not vlogged in like over a month, so you're doing better than I am. Like, you're killing it. I'm just tired all the time. Same. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like part of that is a summer thing. I know some people feel like they feel that way in the fall, winter, because it's a lot darker. It gets darker earlier and stuff, but I feel that way in the summer. The heat just really takes it out of me. Beth says, dealing with hand pain this week, but I will survive. Ooh, that's brutal. Sorry, Beth. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Hopefully it'll get better as the week goes on. Maybe through the weekend. Maybe if you took like, I don't know, a day or two off, maybe that would help too. I don't know. I'm no expert. I have no clue, but I do hope it gets better. Honestly, how cruel. I know. I promise you, he is the biggest baby. Like, he has his own, well, he did till I took it to the cleaners and it broke in the washing machine. I have to get him another one, but he has his own maternity pillow for in bed to sleep in on top of the bed. Okay. He is the biggest baby ever. Let's see. Irene says, this day off was so much needed. Worked these past 3 days. Nice. Yeah, it's good to take a day off every once in a while. I feel like I'm on too long of a streak of taking off. I need to break that, which is why I'm like eager to get into sprints. But yeah, some time off every once in a while is good. Dragon Queen Vic, hi, says, hello. I'm so close to finishing this chapter, but my phone's about to die on me. Oh, brutal. Do you write on your phone a lot? Or do you have like the stream up on your phone? Just curious. Oh my goodness, little dogs. Yeah, the little dogs are just, they really get to him for some reason. And he's like 70 pounds or something. So it's not like they would hold a candle to him, but he just really, they bug him. Evelyn, if you don't mind me asking, what are you in school for? No, I don't mind you asking. I've mentioned it a couple times before, but I'm double majoring in business administration and computer engineering. And right now, over the summer, I'm only doing 2 classes, but they're 8-week term. It's like an 8-week term. And so a normal semester is 15 to 16 weeks. So it's like double the pace of a normal semester. So in my mind, it's equivalent to the workload of 4 classes in a regular semester, which is a full schedule during a regular semester. But the fast pace of learning is brutal. Like, I did a vlog this past week where I kind of say what I did each day, but at the end of the day, a lot of the times I was like, yeah, I studied 5 chapters of math, or I studied 5 chapters of business in a day, you know, because doing that on top of like the studying on top of the actual work just takes so much time, you know. But yeah, I'll get through it. It'll be fine. I'm going to persevere. Let's see. Rye says, oh, not the annoying neighbor dog. Yeah, no, they're a lot. I mean, it's probably a very nice dog, but yeah, it's a lot. Heat warning. I feel it here. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of heat, like storms too, like a lot of thunder and lightning and stuff. Paul says, I try and vlog lessons I learned from the various writing sessions. Nice. Yeah, in the few vlogs I've done, I talk about my writing a little bit. I feel like I, for whatever reason, am more comfortable sharing stuff about my story on a live than I am in a vlog. I don't know why. I guess it just feels like I'm giving away too much when I say it in a vlog, but on a live, I feel like sometimes I forget that this is being recorded and actually stays on my channel, you know, and I feel like I'm just talking to a bunch of friends in the moment. Whereas a vlog for me feels a little more permanent. But I need to get better about it. I need to. Like my latest vlog was me finishing my comic script and novel early chapters. Oh, nice. That's really cool, Paul. That's awesome. Ian says, I spent all day stacking wood. Have you met me? I work on a computer all day. I'm dead. Oh my God. Yeah. I feel like that's another thing too, is just being in front of a screen all day is brutal. I find myself really wanting to actually sit and read like a physical book just to have a break from looking at a screen all day. Dragon Queen Vic, I'm dictating on my phone today because my wrist is in pain. Oh, okay. I type on my computer normally. Okay, so you and Beth are in the same boat. You're both having some issues in your hands and wrists. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sorry, Dragon Queen Vic. I hope that gets better with time, maybe over the weekend. Belle says, oof, I double majored in psych and BCMB and it sucked. What is BCMB? Oh, is that biology? I don't want to say and be wrong, actually. Tell me what that is, Belle, because I'm curious. And I'm sure as soon as you say it, I'll be like, oh, right. But yeah, what is BCMB? I'm just curious. I was going to say like bio, you know, but then I couldn't figure out the rest, but wow. So you're like smart. Good to know. I love finding people on YouTube, especially that are like women who have STEM degrees, because from everything I've heard, you know, women in STEM are kind of like rare. And so it's kind of cool to like find, I don't know, like more people that are part of that community. And especially when there's a crossover between that and like people who like writing. Like I think Andy, hold on. No, not Andy. Not Andy. Sorry. I was watching Brielle's stream earlier and she was talking about Andy. That's why that name's fresh in my head. Ari is also in STEM, I'm pretty sure, from her vlogs. And so that's part of the reason. That's like just one of the many things I really like about Ari too. I've never told her that, but yeah, I just feel like it's cool to see women blazing the trail, you know? Thanks, Belle. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. I have so much to do for my MFA today. I just want to read and write my main current wit. Isn't that the struggle? Like, especially when you're already at your computer doing schoolwork, you're like, I could just switch over really quick. But then if I do that, I have to, you know, I have to do my schoolwork at some point. So it's a struggle. I've had chronic wrist pain since I was 18 and no doctor can figure out why. Today is a stormy day, so my pain is flaring up. When sun returns, I'll be fine. Oh, wow. You know, I have that issue with my knee. But I know in my knee, I'm pretty sure it's, well, I'm not going to actually go into that because it's really gross, but it's due to old injuries in my knees. But yeah, it is interesting how that happens, isn't it? How like the weather can totally cause that stuff to flare up. Yes, women in STEM. Yes, we need more of them. I had a chem teacher who was a woman, and she's the head of our department here. And she was like, she would go around to each person in the class, especially the girls, and be like, so what are you majoring in? You know, and try to kind of push them towards engineering if they weren't already going in that direction. Because she's a big proponent of having women in STEM too. LOL, I didn't really use it in grad school or when I was working. No biggie. I mean, I think sometimes it's just cool to have it, you know, like to be able to say you did it and conquered it, you know. Does political science count as STEM? I don't know if technically it does, but here it can count, you know, like that's still huge. I think any degree is huge. So, yeah, we can definitely still celebrate it. I think that's still really awesome. Political science. I mean, I feel like it might. I don't know. I mean, STEM technically is science, technology, engineering, and math, right? But we can count it. Let's see. So yeah, political science. It's a science. The boss babe days are over. No, you can still use it. Yeah, here we go. Christina's got the answer. Once a boss babe, always a boss babe. Paul says, I'm out here hoarding useless degrees. Journalism, secondary education, master in fine arts, just fun degrees. I don't feel like those are useless degrees at all. Just because they're not usable in the kind of cliche fields doesn't mean they're not usable. I think those are huge degrees. I know you're joking, but just saying, like, you should be so proud of every single one of those. That's so cool. LOL, thanks, Christina. I'm so excited to teach my daughter organic chemistry. Dude, I hear organic chemistry is the absolute worst. Belle, your children are going to run the world. True. Oh, stop. That's cute. Building legacies over there. Yeah, that's really cute. One day. She's only 4 right now. LOL, who knows what she'll want to learn. She zoned in on paleontology. Ooh, very cool. Listen, there are 4-year-old prodigies. That's true. Oh, that's true. I have seen a little bit about this. Didn't you get a pig, or your husband's getting a pig for you, Brooke? Am I crazy? Thought I read that in the Discord, I think. Anyways, let me know about that, Brooke, because I am curious. But while you're doing that, let's get over to the oh my goodness. Yeah, here we go. We got the answer. McKenna says a pig. And then Brooke says, yes, we're getting the baby pig and goats in a few weeks. Oh, while I have you live, I had a friend who had goats. I grew up in a farm town, and like very much a farm town, if you know what I'm saying. Like I lived across the street from a farm. Actually, my whole neighborhood was pretty much farms. And goats are the best. Like pigs are probably great too. I don't have as much experience with pigs, but goats are so sweet. Like, and they get really attached to you, which is really nice. They're like very fiercely loyal animals. I think you're going to love that so much, honestly. Let's see. Dragon Queen Vic says, my grade from chemistry went from straight A to solid D once we hit organic chemistry. I don't think I did any organic chemistry. I mean, I took it was like chemistry for, what was the one I took? It was like chemistry for, specifically for people who were pursuing, like STEM degrees. So it was a separate chem from like, it wasn't like general chemistry. But I don't think it was organic chemistry. I'm pretty sure organic's its own thing, but yeah, I have not touched organic chemistry yet, and I'm hoping I won't have to because I'm trying to do computer technology, and I'm hoping with my electives, I picked more like computer programming, which I already took, and then circuitry, like circuit boards kind of stuff. So we're calling him Lecon? That's cool. Discord needs pictures ASAP. I agree. Wheel time. All right. Irene has spoken. And Irene got the numbers right last time. I remember that. So I think Irene's onto something. We need to trust in Irene and get our butts over to the wheel. I'm going to flip through these real quick. Don't worry, McKenna Picks will be on Discord. Nice. We had goats when I was a kid. They were great. Yeah, they're better. Yeah, goats are better than... They will literally eat anything you give them. You could... I wouldn't advise doing this, but you could feed them freaking cardboard. They'll eat anything. That's what my husband says too. That's why he's so excited for them to come. Lek on. Lecon. Which is a roasted pig in Spanish. What? You're not gonna eat it, are you? You gotta keep it as a pet. Pigs are incredibly intelligent. You gotta keep it around. Pigs are doing all kinds of things nowadays. There are people teaching their pigs how to paint. They're teaching their pigs how to play the piano. Like, come on. But name him Mozart, okay? There's still time to change this decision, okay? And change this trajectory. Let's switch it up to like Mozart or Beethoven or something. I'm not eating it, LOL, but my big dogs, I don't know. They're hunting dogs. You know what, though? I think pigs and dogs can get along really well. I feel like you'll be surprised about that. Maybe. I don't know. All right, that being said, before we discuss any more, we're going to get ourselves over to the wheel. We are not going to leave any more time for distractions, because we gotta get into these sprints here. Let's see. All right, well, okay. I guess you get a pass then, because that is really cute. That is very sweet. Well, yeah. Just don't eat the pig, Brooke. Please. Wheel of... Yeah, let's not get... Well, I don't know. Doom could be cool tonight, actually. I wouldn't mind it. All right, yeah, you have... Ian kicked it off without me even having to say anything. He's ahead of the game. 10 seconds. No, 5 seconds to put your guesses in. Starting now. 5, 2, 1. Okay, you get 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, cool. We're gonna spin and see what we get here. $30. Cute. Perf. And also, ironically, like one of the only time frames that was not guessed. I will say Irene was close, and so was Christina. Christina was close too. You all definitely bookended it. Ian's, I was half right. Yeah, that's true, Ian. That's true. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm getting this set up real quick. Okay. Yeah, you were close, Christina. Half right. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I feel like 30's it's a good start. All right, here we go. We have 30 minutes on the clock. I have faith in all of you. We're going to write great stories tonight. We're going to do lots of productive beta reading. It's going to be a great time, okay? I'll see you all on the other side of 30 minutes. Here we go. Okay, we are back. How did that sprint go for everyone? Okay. Rita! Hello, hello. Happy to have you here. So happy to have you here. Oh, thanks, Rye. Yeah, it's kind of nice, I think, to have like a little bit of a longer alert to come out of it. You know, you can finish up final thoughts real quick and stuff. 458 words. Nice. Let's see. I don't know what my final word count was. I got 252, but to be fair, a certain someone could not settle down that entire sprint. We were up and down and up and down, so that wasn't my best one, but 252 I will take. Also because I feel like the beginning of this chapter is a little trickier for me. It was just kind of hard to figure out how to kick it off, or how to approach this part that kicks it off, which I did, so I'll take it. Paul's saying hello to everyone. Let's see. Perfect timing indeed. Just wrote the last sentence of the chapter. Nice, Dragon Queen Vic. That's awesome. Paul says, I wrote 602 words. Wowza. That's really good, in my opinion, for half an hour. Jeez Louise. Ian says, sprint went fine. Read some more. Still not done. Okay, nice. Is this, well, I don't know if you can say or not, but is this Cody's book? I think he said in his most recent vlog that you were one of his readers, but that's really cool. I wanted to try and read his book, but I knew there was no shot in hell that I would get picked as a beta because I don't read a ton of like horror or anything, like thriller or horror. But I am currently reading Ghostwriters Club. It's really good so far. So, Cody may change that for me. Sorry. Okay, I won't say anything, Ian. I'm sorry. I won't say anything anymore. Christina says, I deleted lots of words and got like 38 words. Hey, I'm telling you, there was one stream that I did where I deleted like 900 words or something. Okay, now I'm realizing what's wrong with my camera, by the way. I was like, why does this look so weird? And it's because I had my desk up higher. Anyways, this is better. So I had a stream once where I deleted like 900 words and I ended up rewriting that chapter like 3 times and it paid off very well in the end to have done that. So I do consider removing words to be extremely productive too, honestly. So congrats, Christina. Hi, I'm Rye says, worked on chapter 6 for a little bit. Yay! Awesome! Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad you guys are able to like be productive during this time. Let's see. Holy wow, 818 words. Jeez Louise. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. I could never. I mean, I don't even know if in an hour I've ever gotten 818, to be honest. That's pretty solid. That's very admirable. Let's see. Christina says, I also did a lot of reading of my last scene, though, so did more reading than writing. Reading's part of the process, I think. Reading is part of the process. So, all valid. Rye says, me too. Yeah, it's been amazing to read. Yeah, I think this was in reference to Ghostwriters Club. So, yeah. I'm into it. So we'll see. I'm sure it's going to be great. Like, I have no doubts. I'm saying we'll see, but I have no doubts. I'm just excited to comment on it more once I've actually finished reading it and have like a fully fleshed out, opinion. But yeah, it's great so far. I feel so awkward about writing a lot of dialogue. I always feel the urge to break it out. I don't know. I find dialogue really fun to read. I know other people feel differently, but I think if it feels natural for you, then it probably makes sense in your story. only you know your story the way you do, you know? So if you feel like it calls for lots of dialogue, then it probably does. Let's see. Oh, break it up. Break it up. Yeah, I will say I do break up a lot of my dialogue. I always put something in between every few lines because I'm the same way. Unless it's something that has to be said all in one go, I try to, yeah, break it up a bit. This is a record for me, indeed. The power of dictation. You know, I've never tried dictating, but I think Alyssa in the books does it a lot too. Yeah, I might have to try that at some point. I guess for me too, I don't know with dictation how this works. But when I write, I feel like, and you guys can probably even see this on my little like thing up here, you know, my little preview of my Word doc that's blurred. I do somewhat revise as I go. Like I'll write a few sentences and then I'll read them back real quick. And if something really feels off, I'll erase it and try again. So I don't know with dictation if I could do that as easily or if it would be as productive if I needed to do that a lot. Yeah, I don't know. But I think the dictation thing is super cool. Definitely a super cool approach. Sarita says, yeah, at Dragon Queen Vic, everyone who dictates tells me it helps with increased word count. That's what I hear too. But I also know if I dictated it would be full ramble. That's what, yeah, mine would be like gobbledygook. It does. I'm a slow typer. Yeah, I'm a slow typer too. I'm an overthinker. So, and there is a mental component to it too. It's like a different headspace. I bet it's easier to like stay in your world. Would it be weird for fantasy also? Yeah, I feel like dictation would be easier almost for like a nonfiction subject that you had researched a lot. I don't know. I don't know if genre has too much to do with it. I think it's just however you work best, you know? And I just know for me, like, I need to be able to revise quite a bit as I go. So I don't know. I don't know if genre has too much to do with it. I'm too self-conscious to try dictation. Yeah, I feel that. I feel like it would be kind of odd to like voicing, like, how do I put this? With some of my characters, I hear them speak in a very distinct way, like before I put their words on the page. And I feel like it wouldn't come across the same if I was dictating it, maybe. But again, I don't know. I've never tried dictation, and I think it's great that people are doing it. And I honestly think you should do whatever works for you. You know, like there's no one size fits all approach to writing, you know, so I'm not knocking it. I think it's great. I just, for me, think I would struggle probably. Sarita says, okay, yeah, I feel like that's not how I write or speak. The thing is, it is a lot of words, but at least to me, it feels like I'm dragging things out for longer. Ooh, nice. That's actually really great because I think it's better to have too much written down than not enough. Like I'd rather go back and pull stuff out and thin things out than have to add words. So that is kind of cool to know. Christina says, I tried dictating and I have to think about my words. So it was a lot of starting and stopping, which was annoying. Typing is best for me. I have time to think. Yeah. I think that's what I need the time to think. And I like to, you know, I flip back and forth between like my outline and character sheets and stuff. And I need that like right there with me. So yeah, joke's on you. This is an epic political fantasy. Oh my God. Okay, well, there's our confirmation that genre has nothing to do with it. I kind of thought that, and yeah, there's our confirmation. Paul says, I'm a fast typer and really live by just write and get words on the page, fix later. Yeah, I love the saying. There's a very popular saying that's like, you cannot edit a blank page. And that's very true. You know, like there's no point. You'll never have something to revise if you don't just get words on the page in the first place. So it's probably the most important thing. I guess for me, again, this is the whole overthinker thing. But to me, I love the phrase work smarter, not harder. That's why my outline is so thorough, because I would have rather moved things around and stuff in an abbreviated format or abbreviated form in an outline than have to like necessarily move, remove, add a whole bunch of words within my actual manuscript. I'm still going to have a lot of revisions. Do not get me wrong. I know I'm going to have a lot of revisions, but I do feel like as I'm writing, I'm establishing a very strong foundation where hopefully if I have to change stuff in revision, it won't be anything, any huge plot points or anything like that, at least. Like, so yeah, I mean, I just think different things work for different people too, you know? So Dragon Queevik, it is very self-conscious for like the first 2 attempts, then it goes away little by little. Nice. Sarita says, oh, for sure. I kind of wish I could dictate sometimes, like just lie in bed. Yeah, lie in bed with your eyes shut and dictate. That would be quite a vibe, honestly. Let's see. And Paul says, Finding Forrester is one of my favorite movies, and it taught me draft. Here we go. Whoop. Draft with your heart, fix with your brain. Yeah, I'm the opposite, I think, which is totally genuinely, I want to stress this, Paul. I am a firm believer that everyone should approach writing the way they want to, and there's no right or wrong way at all. I think there are some brilliant writers that are pantsers, you know, completely. And that is the total opposite of me. Same thing with, like, I think there are people who focus on different elements within stories. Like, there's just so many different strengths and weaknesses and approaches and different things. But I'm definitely more of the, like, I want to lead with a very well thought out outline. You know, I have a whole page. I don't know if you guys see this one as much, but I have an entire sheet, which is like almost a whole nother outline, and it's called To Be Addressed, and it's literally all plot holes. Well, not even plot holes. It's like things that need to be named, characters that need to be created, places that need to be established, like even down to, this is going to sound silly, but even down to figuring out if my characters are sitting at a table having breakfast, who is sitting next to who within the scene, so that when I describe them talking, it makes sense. It's all in this sheet, this To Be Addressed sheet, which most of it I've taken care of. And you can't even see all of it on that blurred out page because there are actually more columns to the left that you can't see. But yeah, I just would rather take that stuff out first and then go back and do the fun stuff leading with my heart during revisions, right? Like then add in maybe more comedy or more of the romance or more of, I don't know, whatever. But to each their own. Also, I did see this comment. I'm going to go through in order. I'm not going to skip y'all's comments in between, but I did say, okay, initially I said I was going to duel Ian because Ian was saying he doesn't like outlining. But then the way Ian described his process, you said you did outline like your first book, right? But then you just didn't outline for the next 5. And that to me is like different than not outlining at all, you know? So everyone has their thing. Oh my gosh, Beth, your team no outline too? Oh my God, I'm on an island here. Hold on, let me go through this chat and see if anyone else is on my island with me and likes an outline. I feel like I'm a little isolated over here. But it's all good. I'm joking, you know, but let's see. Sarita, yes, my life motto, but I'm also still a hard worker. Just don't get it twisted. Okay, I think Sarita's referencing, I think this came up with my work harder or work smarter, not harder reference. Let's see. McKenna, done is beautiful, which, sorry, Sarita, I didn't mean to gloss over that. Thank you for joining me on my island. I think you're there with me. McKenna says, done is beautiful is a motto from college I hang on to. Yeah. I think there's also value in like, which I need to work towards this, but in being like good is good enough. Sometimes it doesn't need to be perfect the first time through. Sometimes just get it done well and then go through and perfect it. Yeah. Like, I definitely yap about my story vocally still. Like, I have left myself voice memos to talk out a scene. Nice. Yeah, I've heard people, and I have heard people do voice memos. Like, I think Hannah does voice memos. Hannah Grace Fletcher, I think she's HGF Writes on YouTube. If you don't follow her, you definitely should. But I think she does voice memos for dialogue, just to hear them back and see if it sounds organic. I think she said that once. Paul, yep, just got to find what works. I'm a planter. Nice. Okay, so yeah, you're a cross between the two. Yep. Yep. Everyone has their different strategies. With eyes closed is probably not a good strategy because it sometimes picks up very weirdly on what I say and makes up some wild sentences. Oh my gosh, I bet. It's probably a hoot to read back though, honestly, and review. It's probably so much fun. McKenna, same. I have a medium specific outline, but like discovering exactly what's going to happen as I go. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I have made some changes to my outline as I go. But I needed that foundation to feel like I could start, you know. Let's see. Araya says, I just moved forward. By the way, welcome in. I don't know if I said hi to you or not when you came in before, Araya. Happy to see you. Gosh, I've got a little bit of a cough today. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys. I just move forward blindly, trying to figure it out as I go. It for sure is not the best, but sometimes you have to figure out what works best for you. Yeah. And who is it? I think it's Stephen King who says that outlining sometimes really robs you of kind of like organic story development, and kind of like the core part of your creative, you know, mindset. I don't necessarily agree with that because I feel like when I was doing my outline, I was being very creative. It wasn't like I started at one. It's not like I started at the beginning, went through it all in one pass and stuck with that. I didn't. I actually made a whole nother outline before this one, scrapped it, decided to start at a whole different point in the story because I was listening to some Brandon Sanderson's lectures, some of his BYU lectures on YouTube, which if you have not listened to those, you should definitely listen to those. But anyways, and he kind of brought up the idea of when you're when you're outlining your story, that you should consider exactly where you're starting in the story and kind of mull over in your mind, how would this story change if I started it like earlier or later at different points? And that actually made me start my story a little earlier than I had originally planned, which I'm really glad that I did that. But yeah, I had like a whole nother outline before this. And then I also had a bunch of different character dynamics that I ended up changing. I changed a bunch of the like drills that they're doing at this academy. I changed a lot. So it wasn't like a one and done kind of thing, you know? But yes. Hi, Abrai says, I like structure. Girl, I got you. Thank you. Yes. I mean, and genuinely, if people don't like it, totally fine. But yeah, so happy that I have at least a couple of you on my team over here. If I had a good memory, I'd probably be more of a pantser, but I do not. Yeah, see, that's part of it too, is like, if I have a really busy week and I need to step away for a week, like the outline is so helpful for me to remember where I was in the story and what comes next and that sort of thing. 100% discovery writer. I did attempt to outline / plot Project Sage, but it was a struggle. Yeah. I mean, I will say outlining too. I think some people are really eager to like just jump in and write, you know, like they enjoy the actual writing process. That's what they do it for. And they don't want to spend months and months on an outline. Like that outline I did took at least 3 months. But I actually gave myself a deadline of January to start writing because I was like, I don't want to get lost in the outline to the point that I don't start writing. But some people don't want to spend 3 months doing an outline, you know, and that's fair. So totally fair. Dragon Queen Vic says, I used to be a full pantser and become more and more of a plan and have become more and more of a planner over time. Now I have detailed outlines for scenes, but they're not done ahead of time, only when I get stuck. That makes sense too. And some people do the reverse outline, right? Where they write a bunch, or they'll write like a whole first draft and then they'll read through it and make an outline then at that point, which you can then revise from there. So yeah, different things. Rita says, I got to outline, but not to that extent. Otherwise my brain is like, nope. I love seeing how organized everyone is though, and wish I wasn't as chaotic as I am. Honestly, again, it's like everyone just has to do what works best for them. You know, like I said, that took me a long time and that's not everyone's jam, you know? And you seem pretty organized to me, Sarita. I could be reading you wrong, but I don't know. You seem, yeah, pretty organized to me. Beth says, if my hand pain gets worse, I may have to switch to dictation for the bulk of getting the words down. Yeah, that makes sense. I hope not, but it is an option. Yeah, definitely. I would think it would be a great option if you're having a hand and wrist pain for sure. Christina says, I plotted my, which I think that's what Dragon Queen Vic was saying too. Christina says, I plotted my thriller, but I've apparently made the decision to completely pants/discovery write the ending because that outline was not budging once I got to that last act. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Well, sometimes it's like that, you know? Oh, here we go. And that's how writing is sometimes. A little of this, a little of that, definitely. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. My writing's always changing from how/if I plot. Physically write down the narrative. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I love watching. I don't think I'll ever put one out. Maybe if I like publish, I would put something out. But I love watching people's like craft videos. Where they just kind of show their process. My thing is, I tried the full-on pantser. I spent 48 hours on my outline, and I'm going to make a series on the process. Ooh, very cool. That's awesome. My outlining style is going to end up being that guy with the pictures and notes with red. Okay, no jokes, Sarita. So those of you that have been on my streams before, I think McKenna may not be here anymore, and that's fine. But just saying, I have said that McKenna shared something in one of Miley's story times that made me think like, oh my gosh, she would be the perfect beta reader for this other story that I have on the back burner. And when I was doing research for that story, when I tell you I did the deepest of deep dives, and I actually had on my wall, I had like, because it would technically be historical fiction, I guess. And so I had pictures of all of these prominent, God, I don't want to give too much away, but these people throughout history, okay? And I literally had like their pictures up on the wall. I had gotten red yarn and I was drawing how they all connected to one another because they were very much intertwined. But in completely different ways. And then I had paper clips and scraps of paper. And I was literally writing like, okay, best friend or like mistress, business partner, and was like clipping it to the red strings because it was just so much going on that I was like, I need to see this visually before I write anything down. You know what I mean? And then eventually I converted it to like I think I converted it all. I just put it all in Paint because I didn't know about Scrivener at the time. So in Paint, I just had like text boxes with little descriptions of each person and then used colored lines and like linked them and stuff. But yeah, that story, when I finally write that story, I'm going to be so excited. But that may have to wait like a while, honestly, because I really want to do that one justice. I want to get like a couple books under my belt, I feel like, before that, because I want to make sure that one is solid. Let's see. Yeah. LMAO, it's okay, but a vibe. I kind of wish I had read these comments before I started sharing that. People are going to think I'm crazy, but it just helped to like visualize it all. Sarita says, LOL, I am organized in a chaotic way. That makes sense. That works. That works. Dragon Queen Vic says, I have what I call a developing outline. It starts vague and then the whole book structure, and it gets more detailed and filled out as I go and think things through. Nice. Yeah, I feel like that's a good approach too, for sure. For sure. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. Oh, McKenna's here. Okay, so hopefully you heard all that, McKenna. But yeah, that book is going to be so cool. I do nonfiction only right now. So I write down everything I remember, and then I go back and thread through the theme of the story and then fix everything else. I just have to get down what I know first. That makes sense. That makes total sense, Soraya. Yes, I like that. I need a visual, and I have a bunch of little twists and red herrings and everything. So yeah, I have it digitally right now in Obsidian. Ooh, nice. But it's not the same as the real thing. I have not tried Obsidian yet. I've looked into it, but I hear Scrivener is good for that kind of thing too. Just FYI. Okay, I'm glad you heard that, McKenna. I don't know when I'm going to get to that story, but whenever I do, I'm definitely going to circle back to you for beta reading because, for at least for that one, because I just think when you hear the premise of it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I can see why, you know, why you thought that. I mean, I think we'll see. But anyways, I just typed out my Google Doc with titles and tabs and put it in a binder as my world Bible, so I don't have to switch documents mid-flow. Nice. Yeah, I definitely think I'm not going to do it for the first or like when I revise the first draft, I still plan to do it on my computer, but after my second draft, I think I'm going to print everything out in a binder to do my edits for my third draft. Because I have heard that it's helpful to look at it in a different format. Yeah, that's the enthusiasm I like to see, McKenna. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, it's going to be great whenever it's done. But is outlining your favorite part of the writing process then, Evelyn? I don't know if I would say it's my favorite. I do find it really satisfying. But like my outline to me isn't just my, like, this is my actual outline for my story. But I have a bunch of other documents. I have a world building document. I have a character doc. I have my to be addressed with like plot holes. And then I also have, what else did I have? Hold on, let me look at this. It was a lot of pages, basically, is what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I have a brain. Oh my God. I have a brain dump document, which I showed this. I've only ever showed this to Taylor, but this thing is thick, dude. Like super thick. Yeah, so this is my brain dump doc, and you can't even see all of it because, like I said, there's a whole column to the left that you can't see because these aren't the same dimensions as my Word doc. But when I tell you it goes on, and this is only one tab, I've got 3 tabs. And then I'm trying to think, what else did I, hold on, let me zip this back to the top. Oh, I had a risk assessment outline, which was running different scenarios of where the story could go, and then doing pros and cons columns of the plot holes each storyline would generate, and then the pros and cons of each storyline, just to decide what direction to take it in. Oh, I have a timeline document where I sketched out the different, the actual timeline for this story, but also for kind of like a prequel type timeline, just to make sure that the lore made sense in this story, timing wise. But yeah. And then I have my world building one, which I won't open because she's thick. But yeah. So I don't know if I would say it's my favorite, but I do find it the most satisfying. I like being able to organize my thoughts. It definitely brings me comfort and calm to feel like I have, again, just that really solid jumping off point. And then I can do all the fun stuff in the drafting process. Like the drafting process, because I have such a good outline, I'm able to kind of lose myself in the drafting process a little more, in my opinion, right? Like for the way my mind works, like I know where everything kind of needs to go. And so then I can have more fun with the dialogue and the character dynamics and stuff because I know where I need them to start and end up. every few sentences. But then I get to have fun with like, how do they get from each point, right? And like how they interact with each other. So I don't know. I'm really enjoying drafting. And I haven't done revisions yet. I'm hoping I'll really like revisions, but I hear they're a bit of a chore. So Paul says, all right, I'm going to take care of some things to get back to writing. Have a good rest of the stream. Oh, thanks, Paul. Hopefully we'll see you in a bit. Thanks, Araya. Yeah, I try to be. I need that for my brain. Like, I can't just enjoy the process. Unfortunately, I actually wish I could, but I need the structure. It's approaching 2 a.m. here in Europe, so I'll stay until the start of the next sprint and then go to bed. Thank you, Dragon Queen Vic. You're a real one. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, risk assessment. I don't know. I just label them like in the moment with what I think applies best to them, but I don't really overthink it too much. But yeah, I just like to think through a lot of that stuff. Okay, Evelyn, I have one of those, but it's just my brain dump notebook where I write what if, then underneath, right? No, no, that's stupid. I feel like most people just have one little, I feel like that's how most people do it. Like they just have one page or like a journal that's like a brain dump journal. I feel like that's totally normal. What I'm doing is not normal, just to be clear. And I know that. So don't hold yourself to that. That's for someone who has a brain that just majorly overthinks every little thing. The way I approach it. It's like you're writing a research project. Damn, that's a lot of thoughts. Yeah, it's a lot of thoughts. It's a lot of, and I feel like that's what I like when fantasy is well thought out and there's like Easter eggs and stuff. And so that's what I wanted to plan ahead so I could have all that. I heard risk assessment and you immediately made me think of work. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I did the project management Google certificate like forever ago. And I think that's where that comes from, because they have like the, I don't know if it's technically called a risk assessment chart. Some places call it a fishbone chart, but yeah. Thank you, Rye. Yeah, I try. And I'm not organized in every part of life, but definitely for my story, I need to be. So, all right. Are we ready to do another sprint? How are we feeling? I definitely feel like I absolutely need it. And I'm kind of hoping for a long one this time between you guys and me. Like, I wouldn't even mind a Wheel of Doom if it came to it. But I'm going to go ahead and get us over there. Sarita's like, yes, let's do it. Okay. Sarita has spoken. Let's get over to the wheel. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to put guesses in. All right. 5 seconds. Ian's coming in with the Doom. Look, if you say Doom every time, then, you're kind of stacking the deck in your favor for when we do eventually hit it. I will say there is strategy to that. You'll be prepared. Jesus, I need some tea and honey, man. I gotta do something. Teresa says, I need to write before I go out. Yeah. Doom 43. Oh, okay, 45. There we go. I was about to say, people are getting creative now. 43. 1 hour. But I love it. I love it, Araya. So don't overthink that. I love it. Doom. 35. All right. Hey, we're all over the board here. I like it. All right, here we go, guys. $35. What is with these short sprints tonight? I feel like we're getting hit with the short numbers. My goodness. But I mean, 35 is okay. We'll take it, right, guys? Let's see. Oh, let me turn that alert off. Hold on. All right, let's see here. I mean, it's okay. 35 is not too bad, but geez. Oh, and Rye got it. Right on the head. Let's see. Nobody else got 35. Some of y'all were close, but Rye got it. Hit the nail right on the head. I gotta get that gold star board set up. Every time I do this stream, I'm like, I gotta do that. I'll do it eventually. I got sucked up into that board game thing. I'll do the gold star board once I get that finished. Let's see. Bruh. Fine, whatever. Redo. Nah, we can't. We can't. I thought on it for a hot second. Nah, we can't. The wheel decides. But maybe we'll get to fit one more in after this. Maybe we'll take a much shorter chat break next time. I feel like I've been yapping tonight. The disappointment in the chat. Short. I routinely do 5-minute sprints. You know, 5-minute sprints, they work, you know? They work. Any sprint is a good sprint. So, yeah. Rye's killing it over here. Rye took over for Irene, who used to get it like every time. So, all right. Well, that being said, we've got a cute little 35 minutes on the clock. If we get through this one and then do like a shorter amount of chat time, we can probably do one more sprint. I feel like I could have a third one in me tonight, especially since these have been shorter. So that being said, let's push forward. Okay, let's sally forth and do our best, okay? I have faith in all of you. I'll see you on the other side of 35 minutes. Here we go. Hello, everybody. How did that go for you? Okay, I had to get this one last thought out, but I got it out. We're all good now. Let's see. How did this go? Also, welcome back, Irene. I did see that Sarita had to head out. Ian says, I'm on to the epilogue. Nice. Awesome. Beth says, finished my short story. Wow. You really cranked today, Beth. I'm not surprised. You usually are pretty productive, but geez Louise. McKenna started making dinner and did some beta reading. Nice. I love seeing all the beta reading happening in the streams. I think that's great. I like that people use the sprints as time to read, even if they're not beta reading, like just reading in general. I think it's really cool. Let's see. I got God, how many did I get? Not much. Yeah, I only got exactly 200 words. Wow. But I have to say, so the scene I'm in right now, or the moment I'm in, it's pretty much mostly dialogue. And how do I put this? There's like a lot of different dynamics at play in this conversation. It's kind of a group conversation. It's not their whole group, but you know, it's quite a few of the characters together. I think it's five characters together talking. And so there's a lot of different dynamics at play. And I feel like I'm kind of writing. I'll like write and then erase and then write and erase until I feel like I have a good rhythm down in the dialogue, you know? So 200 words is 200 more than I started with, you know? I'm just going to take it and be happy with it. Beth says, to be fair, I haven't been writing as I've been doing edits, so it was nice to write something fresh again. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people talk about like when they work on longer projects, like when they're working on a full-length novel that's a higher word count and stuff, how you definitely get an itch to do something else to kind of revive your creativity after a while. So yeah, I'm sure that is nice. Let's see. Ian says, oh, I'm still writing. I must have left 3,000 comments. Oh my gosh. Well, this is why people say you're such a good beta reader. You know, it's good to give that much feedback, I think. Beth says, Jesus, I thought it was just my crap writing that made you leave so many comments. Well, clearly your writing's not crap, Beth. It's just Ian leaves a lot of feedback, which I think is a good thing. Let's see. Jam Hollis says, I'm hella late, but I wanted to pop in and say hi. Hi. Good to see you, Jam Hollis. And you are late, but not really that late, to be honest. We may still do one more sprint. Not saying you have to stay and write, you know, but we may do one more sprint because we got a couple shorties today. We got like a 30 and a 35. We've been doing a lot of yapping. So I think we'll probably go into another sprint here pretty soon. Yeah, see, no one's writing has been crap, but I'm incredibly anal. See, I was like, I knew it. And I've heard, Beth, I heard your writing in Miley's story time, so I know your writing's not crap. I do wonder when Miley's doing her next story time. Does anyone know? I try to keep tabs on the Discord, but I feel like so much happens in there. Like it's bumping. Let me see. I think the last time they made it like an event, didn't they? But I don't think they made one yet. I don't see it. Yeah. To be fair, like, you know, probably should be spread out quite a bit because it's a lot of work, I'm sure. Beth says, LOL, thanks. I was just teasing. Ian gives great feedback, honestly. Yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. So, all right, let's see. Are we ready to do another sprint? Like, how are you guys feeling that are still here hanging tough at almost 9 o'clock at night? I feel like I could do one more. Especially because we've just gotten short sprints tonight and I've only streamed once this week. I feel like I have it in me to do one more if you guys do. Because, yeah, I'd really like to... Let's see. I wish I could get... I think I'm close to getting through a quarter... I'll be like a quarter of a way... Oh, excuse me. Actually, maybe a third of the way through chapter 11 pretty soon here. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like if we do one more sprint, as long as it's not something super short, I could probably finish the first third of this chapter, which would feel pretty huge. Although this chapter is going to be, well, no, it won't actually. It won't be too short, but okay. Yep, more to do. Okay, perfect. And I can work on creating the YouTube short to go with the Substack post. Nice, nice. Yeah, creating shorts is always like a bit of a chore, but it's a good thing. Okay. Let's see. It's a good thing to work on for sure. All right. Let's pop us over to the wheel here. If anyone cares to put their guesses in the chat. Oh, here we go. Irene too says, I think I got another one in me, especially since I missed part of the other two. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. If you all want to have like 5 seconds to put guesses in, that starts now. Go ahead and pop the guesses in the chat. And that is ending in 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I like that you guys are kind of all over the board there. And McKenna's still coming in strong with Doom. We'll see. We'll see. If I hit Doom right now, I might regret this decision to do one more sprint, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see. 25. Why are we getting all shorties tonight? I mean, it's fine, but geez, that's kind of rare, I feel like. Let's see. Get back over here. Let's see. J.M. Hollis, you did nail it. You guessed that, I will say. If I had my little gold star leaderboard, you'd be on it. Irene wasn't too terribly far off, but McKenna with the wheel. I love the wheel emoji so much. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Killed it. Go shorty. It's your birthday. Yeah, that's the vibe. That's the vibe today for some reason. I might keep that comment up, I swear, for the whole next sprint, just so if anyone pops in, they're going to be like, what is that in reference to? But anyways. All right. Well, that being said, I feel like this was meant to be then, the fact that we got like a nice short one to kind of cap it off. So I believe in all of you. Best of luck, and I'll check in with you on the other side of 25 minutes. Here we go. Okay, how did that go for everyone? That one actually felt like the best one yet for me. I only got 247 words, but towards the end of that, the dialogue was really, it was really moving, honestly. Yeah, 247 words. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Oh my god, my word count is so close to 48,000, but I'm not going to hit it tonight. It's not going to happen. Let's see. Oh, I think that was from before we started. Okay. McKenna says, one day you should sneaky change the music just to jump scare Ian. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. Well, I will say it has different music for the Wheel of Doom theme is going to have different music. Because I don't think the jazz would work quite as well with the spooky theme. So you will have different music over there. And I'm sure for the board game one, I'll have different music too. I don't know yet what song I'm going to use for that. I'll have to dig through the library and see what I can find for that one. Let's see. Went well. Still not done though. No worries. You've still got time. Well, I don't know what the turnaround is for that person's manuscript, but I would imagine you've still got some time. Actually, I think they did say when their desired turnaround time was. I don't remember what it was, though, but they said in one of their vlogs, I think. And I'm saying they because I'm not going to say who it is again, just in case I'm not supposed to be saying that, because I'm pretty sure I know who it is. But anyways, don't tease it. No, I don't know on this stream if I would maybe change it if I changed the whole theme. But to be honest, like, I may stick with this whole fantasy forest thing for quite some time, just because now that I'm creating all these other kind of like themes, I don't know. I don't really mind keeping this one the same, I guess is what I'm saying. Because originally I had different backgrounds I was going to use for this, but I don't feel as inclined to like switch it up anymore since I have these like special edition streams that I'm going to be mixing in every once in a while. And now I'll be up to 3 different kinds. So I don't feel like I need to change this one very much. Probably keep it the same. Irene says, it felt good. No specific words as I'm still outlining, but I have up to chapter 17 set up and have a few future scene ideas. I know what I want to have happen, but don't know when they're going to happen. Gotcha. Yeah, it's hard, like finding the initial ideas and then arranging them as a whole nother tier of difficulty. I totally empathize with that. Beth says, got my Substack post up and the YouTube short that goes with it. Nice, Beth. Awesome. Yeah, I've never even looked at Substack. I need to check it out. I know a lot of authortube people are taking advantage and using it and really enjoying it. So Ian says end of July, but okay, that's what I kind of thought. But I have other things to do. This has taken all my free time for 10 days. Oh my gosh. I'm not complaining, but it takes what it takes. Wow. You're an MVP, Ian, for doing that. Because that's awesome that you give up so much of your time to that. Hi, Belle. Yeah, I'm still here for now. We'll see. We are about to wrap up in a little bit, though. But we just finished the last sprint, and I got 247 words. So, not too shabby. Not too bad. I definitely feel like I hit my stride way more in that last sprint. I was kind of explaining that I'm doing dialogue right now, and I needed to kind of find my rhythm within the conversation, and I feel like I did by the end of that sprint. So, oh, I know. And I'm like tempted, honestly. I feel like I got into the rhythm right at the end there. And like part of me is kind of tempted, like, should I do another one? Especially because we've had short ones. But my brother's trying to call me after. He was like, call me after you stream and stuff. And it's almost 9:30 here, you know, it's 9:20. So And I was out late last night. I was out to like 1 a.m. or something, so I'm kind of tired. But oh god, now I'm torn. I'm like, should we do one more? I don't know. But if we do another one, see, the thing is too, I stand the risk of getting like a 1 hour, which I don't know if I have that in me. I don't know. I'm so torn. I need to do like a late night one sometime where I like plan to go late, because you're not the only one, Belle, that like, I think there's people in other time zones that fall earlier than mine that would prefer that I do a later one. Yeah, man, I'm kind of torn. Let me think for like 10 seconds. Hold on. My brain is like in such a fog right now. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm so tempted, but I'm not going to do it because I know that tomorrow morning I'm going to be like, you needed to go to bed. Oh my gosh. I have a little free time around this time to write at least 300 words. Oh, I'm so tempted. Oh God. Do I want to do one more? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I'm struggling tonight. I'm sorry, Belle. I actually, honestly, if this was like a normal night where I didn't have such a crazy week, I probably would have done another one. I'm not kidding. I would have. But I've been like coughing. I've been like coughing all during this stream and everything. I'm struggling a little bit tonight physically. So I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. We can all just pretend. I know, but part of the reason I like the wheel is because it forces me to do the longer sprints. Like, I feel like once I start that habit, like if I start being like, I'll just set it to the time that's convenient, then I'm gonna start doing that regularly, you know? And I kind of like how the wheel forces me to go for longer than I normally would, you know? So, yeah. I think I'll just, but I do get what you're saying, Ian. But I do get what you're saying. Like, I could totally do that. I do think for another special edition stream, one of the ones I just talked about, I'm going to do shorter sprints. So that'll be nice. But for this one, I still want to try and use the wheel each time. And there is that chance, like, I'm not going to lie, there's also still always that sliver of a chance that it could hit doom. And that would be like my worst nightmare, for me to be doing one last sprint. And then get Wheel of Doom and have to go for like 2 hours, because I'm not going to disobey the wheel, you know? But yeah, I think I'm going to call it for tonight. But I'm trying to think when my next stream is going to be. I know next week I'll probably have my normal Tuesday, Thursday. And then I was going to try and maybe get the, let's see, just between you guys and me, just us gossipers over here. I was going to maybe try and do the board game stream sometime next week, but I'm not sure about that yet. I was thinking about doing it next Friday, maybe as like an extra stream, but I've got to look at my calendar and figure that out. I need to get some of my streams planned like way ahead. And then the following week, I have not mentioned this yet because I have it in my vlog, but I actually am going to meet up with a fellow authortuber in real life for coffee, which is going to be pretty cool. I found out I live like super close to one of them, so we're going to get together and gab. I'm like just looking at my calendar now, but yeah, I need to get my next few up and posted just so you guys know what's coming up. But definitely Tuesday, Thursday going forward, I'll be back on schedule. And then yeah, definitely want to get the board game one up, and then maybe another happy hour scheduled for I think the next day I had it was sometime in August. So yeah, you guys will see me around pretty soon. Yeah, of course. No, I love this time because it really gives me like set aside time dedicated to writing, you know, like it gives me an excuse to step away from school and focus on this for this chunk of time, which I deeply enjoy, you know, so yeah, I'm hoping. We'll see if I can get the layout done, which I've already started on. If I can get it done well enough, and then obviously I have some people I need to coordinate with, but if I can make it happen, it'd be pretty cool. I'd like to get that up and going because I'm pretty excited about it. So, yeah. And then Wheel of Doom will be coming in September. I've already discussed that with someone. So, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I don't have any other huge like updates for right now. That's pretty much kind of everything going on. Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited too. Like, I'm hoping that we'll both maybe film a little while we're there. I haven't asked her yet, but I'm hoping we'll at least take a picture or something so we can talk about it, each of us on our channels. But oh, thank you guys. Yeah, thank you all so much. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you all my traditional sign off because I am like fading in front of your eyes. I feel like I'm like falling asleep in the chair. Oh my gosh, it's brutal. But anyways, so be brave, be a light. Remember that you all are so loved, and I hope you have a great night. Bye, guys.